The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. And we're very excited to host today's webinar, Learn How Tableau Can Be Used to Discover Powerful Business Insights. Presenting today's topic will be James Law. James is an IT professional with over 20 years of experience in delivering trainings and consulting services in key subject areas like Excel, Power BI, and data analytics. He's also created content according to materials provided by companies to execute classes for students on a variety of software applications, including MS Office, Windows 10, Adobe, and more. He's also provided customer service support in computing and software related problems and has conducted web-based and on-site customized trainings on LMS modules, guides, and much more. Now, please bear in mind this is an overview of a very robust topic. We do offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored towards your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning also helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we've been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation will be from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning also offers a comprehensive training portfolio for Tableau data and AI courses, which you can check out up there on your screens. We also provide training to teams, which is also available, of which the learning plan can be customized to the specific needs of that audience. You can also access a variety of data and AI marketing assets, such as the free 1-hour training, free on-demand training, and our blogs by clicking on the available webinar handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. So why should you attend today's webinar? Well, in this webinar, you will learn how to use Tableau effectively for uncovering powerful data insights and much more. And now I'd like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you have the option to adjust the window size to your liking. Simply hit the Escape key and find the Zoom button on the bottom left corner of your GoToWebinar viewer. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you do have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. To get the best out of today's webinar, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we'd also like to request that you do take a quick moment to participate in our short survey before leaving today's webinar. It'll help us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The direction on the survey, it just says simply, please use a scale of number 5 to 1, where 5 represents outstanding and 1 represents poor. And finally, I'm going to pass this over to James, who will be presenting today's topic. Okay, James.
Hey, thank you. Let's see. We need to switch screens here so I can share, right?
Okay, you should be online right now.
Go. Let's see. I'm showing the wrong screen, I think. There we go. Is that showing the right screen there? Just the agenda?
We see your screen. Perfect.
Awesome. There we go. So this is what we're going to talk about here. As mentioned, this is going to be kind of a high-level overview of the different things that you can do within Tableau, setting up stuff, connecting up to data. I'll show you a little bit on some connection techniques that I do and things like that. There are use cases that visualization is utilized, and they can be pulled in from all sorts of different data sources. So if you have like Google Analytics, you can very quickly and easily set up Google Analytic reports to pull in different informations about the analytics that is showing from within the information that you have. Or if you had just an Excel spreadsheet, you can pull something in from an Excel spreadsheet and quickly and easily set up stuff from within there. If you have websites and you want to be able to look at traffic and information like that, there's even stuff that allows you to pull things in from that with traffic. So lots of data sources that you can utilize and be informed with. Now, a couple of things we want to talk about a little bit here is terminology. With Tableau, Tableau calls visualizations the viz. So you will hear that in day-to-day speak from people that are experienced in Tableau. Basically, the viz is just the current visualization that you are editing within a report page that you have within a Tableau file. Current interface that I'm showing you here is the 2020.2 user interface. If you do have Tableau, you may have a earlier edition. The user interface may look different for you. So the viz or the view is typically something that they'll talk about for the current visualization that you have within a particular report. Any page within the report could have 1 to 4 different vizzes sitting on into the canvas on that particular page. And then there are certain things that you can do with that to modify it. Let's talk a little bit first about connecting up to your data. So connecting up to the data, there are tons of data types that are available for you within the visualizations. I'm just going to flip through a couple of them here real quick so that you can see they have tons of them that are available for you. So lots and lots of visualizations that you have that are available, whether it is a flat file that you're using, whether you're accessing stuff from within your environment, whether it's a SQL Server database or things like that. There are a ton of different options that you have. And then they have almost hundreds of different connections when you are talking about going to online sources, whether that is something within Azure, use Azure SQL Server databases, or if you're doing Cloudera Hadoop, or if you're doing Amazon, Google Analytics, all these different online sources that you can use to store data are available to be able to be pulled in quite easily and quite quickly within analytics itself. Let me just pop over to my screen here. I'm just going to show you here real quick. Search for data. So if I go, I can grab things in from a file here. I'm just going to hit more so you can see those are all the flat file information. I can pull them in from a whole bunch of different flat file sources, right? So Tableau gives you all of that that's available. If you're saying that you're pulling it in from a server location, you can see there are a whole bunch of server locations that are pre-configured. And then you also still have the ODBC and JDBC that you can utilize for any custom connections that you may have within your own corporation. So you will be able to use those connections to set up things that way within the system that you have there. So no matter which way you're doing it, however you want to connect up to it, anything that is already set up as like quote unquote customized, that it actually gives you the name of what it is that you're getting to, it will have a wizard that is associated with it that will walk you through step by step what you need to do in order to grab that particular file to be able to process it into Tableau for you. Okay. When we're talking about exploring and setting things up, being able to understand how Tableau works within the viz is very important on how you actually set things up. Easiest way to do this is you are going to double click on an item. So you would double click on any item within your list of fields that are available after you've connected up to your data, and that will then add that item into what is called the shelf. Now the shelf is where these rows and columns are at. So they double clicked on category, and well, they actually double clicked on subcategory, and they put the subcategory field up there in the column section. Then you can use what is called the marks area. That's this area right here to further customize your visualization. If you want your column chart here to actually have different colors for each one, you would click on the color mark, and that would, if you drag that color mark into subcategory, that would then colorize your subcategories so that they would have different colors for you. Depending upon the visualization, depends upon what you're going to utilize. You can also, instead of double clicking, you can drag anything that you want into your shelf here. So you can drag additional things. If you wanted to have category and subcategory broken down, it will let you very easily do that. And then there is the show me section. The show me section will show you the different visualizations or vizzes that you can actually use within the current data that you have. So you'll notice that some of these are grayed out. That means that there's not enough information in the current viz for you to be able to switch over to that particular viz, but there are some that are available for you that you can utilize. You can hover over a specific viz to find out what additional information you need to use for creating that and setting that up for you. So it does give you a very nice way of being able to see what you need extra in order to be able to do this particular viz that you were trying to get at. So it'll show you how many different items you need, whether it's going to be an actual measurable item, or whether it is something that is actually breaking up your data into different categories and subcategories and stuff like that. You'll notice the different colors here. These are different measures that you have and parameters. Those would show up as green, and then these are the different actual data that is represented that you can slice and dice your measured information that you have in there. So it does give you the ability to set up these different dimensions within your data set. When we're talking about sharing the information within Tableau, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. You can actually share the data file itself. It's going to be a TDS extension for the data source, and it will be a TDSX for any of the workbooks. So you can save and share those. There's also publishing features where you'd be able to publish this out to your own Tableau server if you have that set up within your organization, or to Tableau Online. Now, Tableau Online is different than Tableau Public. Just wanted to point that out. Tableau Online is basically a server that is for you that Tableau actually maintains for you rather than you having an on-premise Tableau server. Each one, whether you use Tableau Server or Tableau Online, just depends upon your organization, their policies and procedures regarding that, and other different factors that are in there. There's pluses and minuses to both the Tableau Server and the Tableau Online that I could talk for probably a day about. So lots of information that is in there. The nice thing about publishing it is that it does give you a little bit more features in terms of security and different things that you can do with that when you do publish it. If you share them directly, they have access to everything. Another thing that is very, very important when we are talking about Tableau is the concept of extracting your data. Some of this data that you may be accessing to try to set up analytical vizzes for are, billions of records. And you want to be able to refresh that and do different things with that. Extracts are one way of being able to do this because it's a subset of data that gives you things that are on that. It helps you support those billions of rows of data so that you have a smaller subset of usable data. So instead of getting everything from the beginning of time, you may be only getting 5 years of data, or maybe 12 months of data, or something like that, because you don't need everything in order to see what's going on and do the analytics. It would just be a little bit, in terms of performance, it would be horrible. If you had everything from like the beginning of time for like a 40-year company, some of these data sets, if you tried to do something like that, it would take anywhere upwards of a minute every single time you clicked on something to try to move around, as you, not only when you're building your viz, but as the people that are using that report are clicking around and filtering things and doing different things that they would want to do to analyze the data that you've set up the report for. So it's a great boon to performance to be able to get it down to a couple of billion rows of data instead of having millions of billions of rows of data. But you can have pretty large data sets that are in here. And it also takes advantage of Tableau functionality. So additional functionality that might not be available in the original data source. When you do it as an extract, it kind of pulls it out of that data source and gives you the ability to add the additional functionality in that data source might not have. I mean, if it's a flat file, for example, like a CSV file, or even potentially a JSON file, you can't put calculations on a flat file and have it calculate stuff. But if you pulled it in as an extract, you could. That's just one example of a way to be able to do that. And another really good key is that it does give you the ability to make Tableau available for offline access so that you can use it that way. Let me just come back and pop over here real quick for a second. I just want to show you how simple and easy. I'm just going to grab the template here that a lot of people use when they are setting up stuff and showing demonstrations for this. So you can see I have a couple of pieces of information that's in here. I have different tables that have been set up with different pieces of information. There are measures that are set up in here. You'll notice that some of these get generated automatically just based on what's in here. So I obviously have something in here for region, and that will generate regional based information and things like that that I can utilize. So if I just double click on region, for example, it automatically puts region up in there and sets up my information. I can then grab, let's see if I want to, I'll grab profit, put that in as a column. And now it's showing me profit. All right. So I'm just going to put that profit. Oops. I was going to put it in the, there we go. If I put the profit into the item there, it shows it up as a value for me. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. No, I didn't want to do that one. I wanted to get rid of you. There we go. Let's put region back in again. So now it's showing me region in columns and profit in rows. Well, let's say if I put region as my rows, and then it's going to show me my profit. Now, if I actually instead show this as a mark, it should give me options where now it's just giving me a visual of which one's having more profit than the other. And so it's pretty easy to set these up and define what you want to be able to do with that. I just double clicked on profit, and what that did was it set up color in here for the different bins that I have for my profit, right? So it's just showing me information that's in there. Let's see, is it going to let me do this? There we go. Now I got my profit showing up as a total. I then have additional visualizations, and I could flip over to any number of options here for different charts that I want to do. So if I wanted to understand a little bit more about where this is coming from in this particular chart, maybe I want to include it by state. And now it's showing me information. Let me see if it's going to actually flip over. There we go. I flipped it back. So now it's showing me for each area, what region, and the information for that profit is showing there, giving me the different areas with the different states in there. So I can very quickly and easily set up something to be able to do that. Now, as I said, this isn't great insights can be utilized in here. But in order to do this, you need to be able to understand and know how to use Tableau. There are tons of resources that are out there that are available. Many of these resources that you have that are available are straight from Tableau. Lots of different resources. I use this public one all the time because if I'm running into a problem in something, there's probably somebody else that has also ran into that same problem. The Tableau community is very robust, and they are very active and providing information and feedback. I've asked a question once in there, and within I'd say a half hour to an hour, I've already gotten some responses back. Somebody even went out of their way and provided here's a sample that you can use to do that, and they were using that sample database and showing me how to set up this particular complex measure that I was trying to do. So really good there. Lots of different resources that are available for you. We at Netcom also provide courses that you can use depending upon what you're doing. If you want to learn more about the desktop Tableau, there is training for that. There's also server training for people that have Tableau servers that are on premise and they need to administer that and things like that. And how do you set these up, and how do you run them, and how do you performance tune them and things like that. That training would be available for that as well. I think that's it on my side. I think we're good to flop this back over and see if we have any questions or anything like that.
Okay, we'll get to those questions in just a moment, but first I'm going to pass this over to Nashood, who will be telling us about some wonderful classes, etc., that Netcom will be offering. Okay. Nashood, do you have the screen?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Tracy. And James, thank you for walking us through an aspect of Tableau. I would like to, on behalf of Netcom, thank everyone for being here. Netcom is a company where we exist at the first place because of to promote the values of lifelong learning. So as a result of that, in various domains, we offer masterclasses, webinars for free of charge to ensure that we are providing additional support to individuals and corporations. Primarily, we focus on corporations, and as a result of your attendance today, I just want to showcase you're going to get this marketing collateral as a downloadable item. But if you click on it, it will take you to a page where our Netcom 365, which is the learning portal, and it will give you access to a related course, Power Platform course called PL 900. This is one of the most popular courses, folks who are interested in Tableau that have noticed in the past. So you have a direct access of Microsoft official courseware through the link that we have provided that you would be able to download and use it for the knowledge purpose. And as you probably might notice, Netcom on the banner, it says Netcom is the official learning partner of the world this year. So that says a lot about our engagement, not just in the US, in the entire world. We're delivering classes on behalf of Microsoft for the last 25 years. And we've been nominated multiple times as a partner of the year. And this year happens to be our second time around. So please download the courseware. If you are interested in, reach out to us if you have any additional question regarding enrollment. We offer, like I said, master classes for free, up to 4 hours for certain corporations where there's a group of people are interested in learning more about Power Platform in general, or migrating data to Azure, or anything that you might be interested in. Lastly, I quickly want to showcase our one of our newly launched subscription. It's called Netcom Plus, and obviously you'll be able to find it under Solutions, and it covers a wide variety of courses. I'm going to quickly take you to the bottom of that page and show you the areas of the vendors that it covers. So from Adobe to Microsoft to PMI, and these are not content that you would just watch videos. We're referring to over 140 instructor-led online classes that you would have access to throughout the entire year. And Tableau happens to be one of them, as you can see. It's a 24/7 access, 365 days a year. And what's the cost? The cost is $3,000 per learner, but it goes significantly lower to $24.99 if you have 10 learners or more. So if you are interested in more about a learning path that can help you increase your knowledge, skills, and abilities in various areas, this could be a potential subscription that you could consider for yourself and potentially for your team. So once again, we want to thank you for being here. We promote the values of lifelong learning. Therefore, we would hope to see you in our upcoming webinars and master classes that we offer. Tracy, back to you.
Thank you so much for all that invaluable information, Nashood. And before we get to your questions, we do want to launch a quick poll to find out how many of you might be interested in taking some additional training. So please make sure you try to fill that out before you all log off and get back to work. And let's get some of those questions. Okay, first one comes from Donald. Okay, he would like to know, you mentioned data extracts. Does Tableau have any options for incremental extracts, James?
Oh, yeah, they do. There's actually a couple of different options that you can do. The default is that it's going to do a full refresh, right? And so that's going to replace everything from the data source and pull it in for the extract. But you can do incremental extracts, and what that will do is it's only going to pull rows that are It's only going to pull items from stuff that have changed since the last extract. So it keeps track of what's happening, just zips through the data and finds anything that is either that will be new that are in there. The thing that you need to remember about this incremental refresh, it's not going to change anything if a row was modified. So it's only going to grab new rows. So it will be faster than a full resource, but it does not update existing records. So if you need to have updating of existing records, then you have to go back to the full refresh.
Great, thank you, James. And we have time for one more. We're not sure if you actually talked about this or if we missed it, but someone would like to know, how do you share your visualization with others?
Oh, so a couple of different ways you can actually share the file that has the extract in there. That gives them access to all of the data that's in the extract. If you're concerned about privacy or if that has more information than you need, then what you want to do is you want to publish that. And you want to publish that either to your organization's on-premise Tableau server or your organization's Tableau online system. You will also see one out there that says Tableau Public. I would not necessarily publish those to Tableau Public because that makes it available for anybody in the Tableau community, inside or outside of your organization, that would have access to the data that you're setting up. So I only publish to Tableau Public when I am publishing an example, and I will use that Superstore sample data set when I'm setting up something like that to share that way. But yeah, you would publish it, and then by publishing it, it actually sets it up so that you can put security into it. So you can only show what you want to show to certain people when you do share that out that way.
Great. Thank you so much, James, for all of that information. And finally, lastly, we do want to request that you do take a quick moment to participate in our short survey. It helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions. And we just want to remind you again that the directions are as follows. Use that scale of 5 to 1 or 1 to 5. Anyway, where 5 is actually representing outstanding and then 1 represents poor. In addition, we do have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register. We want to thank you all for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.